there, guys. This is Rock Hard Riffs, the guitar channel for the self-taught. Cool guitar, dude. Well, hey there, guys. This is Rock Hard Riffs, the rock and roll guitar channel for the self-taught. The topic of today's video is albums. Are they out, or are they on their way out? Have they been out? What's the deal? Now, even Ringo Starr, I heard lately, say himself that an EP is probably enough. Now, an EP means extended play, like a record album that's an LP that's long play, or a 45 or a single. Now, these all have been around for quite some time. I think it was in the mid-60s, and we're going to talk about in a second, that really started to launch album rock, if you want to call it that, and that was the FM thing. For those of you that remember, it was FM in those days was called album rock because they played the entire album. How cool. But not always, right? They play deep cuts too, not just the hits, in other words. Now, I think really one of the issues is it's not so much that albums are passé or out of style. It's just that songwriting is not out, but it's almost like a lost art. Let's say that you're an album lover and that your favorite band is no longer, or never did, put out albums. They just put out, 5, 6 songs or just a single. I don't know, I'd feel a little ripped off, but then the only reason I would feel ripped off is because I have something to compare it to, right? Like albums. Now, imagine this. This is probably the granddaddy of them all, Sgt. Pepper. This probably started the album rock thing at the time, and why not? What a great album. And then Abbey Road, Beatles' Abbey Road, another. You have to listen to the whole album, right? Don't you? Tell me if you think so or not. Let me know in the comments. Also, followed by, say, Led Zeppelin 2. Probably one of the grittiest and greatest blues-based rock albums ever made, in my opinion. Led Zeppelin 2. You've got to have it. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Can you imagine just a couple songs, or 4 or 5 songs instead of the entire album? Or, even worse, The Wall. Pink Floyd, The Wall. Can you imagine any of these songs not being there? I can't. I don't know. Obviously, I am pro-album. Or how about Boston's first album? Come on, man. If you're around in the mid-70s, this and Kansas and all that, it was the stuff. Just great, great music. The Blizzard of Oz. We have Ozzy's first album after Sabbath. I think this is one of the greatest rock albums ever made. I'm a huge Randy Rhoads fan. How about U2, The Joshua Tree? Let's say you only had a few songs from that album. I think really what we need to do is develop more of our songwriting skills. That's what I would suggest to young musicians these days. We all want to be Eddie Van Halen, and we all want to be Paul Gilbert and all that, and that's cool and fine, and it has its place and all, but nothing replaces a well-written song, in my opinion. Just look at the Beatles. There is no Paul Gilbert or any of that in any of their music. A little bit of Eric Clapton on, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and another song here and there. But it's the songs that stand the test of time, not necessarily just the guitar solo. Now, of course, you could say Eruption, right? And I'd have to agree, but Eruption's almost a song in itself, right? And that's a different kind of thing. But anyway, I think songwriting is what's missing. That's I don't know how else to put it. And I think songwriting is missing is because the people writing the songs these days just don't have quite the exposure to such a, like when we were younger, I hate to keep saying that, but it's the truth, we were exposed to all kinds of music, from Lawrence Welk to country to disco to blues to whatever, what have you. And that makes a great, big, huge melting pot, and it gives you a lot to draw from. But if all you're doing is listening to one genre, or one specific subgenre of a genre, you're cheating yourself, is what I would say. Even the Lawrence Welk stuff, and when I was a kid, it's like, what is this? But you had to watch it, because in those days you only had 4 channels on the TV, and Grandpa and Grandma and everybody else there are always watching Lawrence Welk on Sunday evening. So guess who else is watching Lawrence Welk? Yeah, us too, unless we're out goofing around outside, which is illegal these days. Where I'm not even going to get into it. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about albums. Are they out? Should they be out? Or are they on their way out? I'd say if they're on their way out, let's start writing some great music throughout an album. and see what that does. Alright guys, thanks so much for joining us. I am Mo Beans. This is Rock Hard Riffs. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next video.